What's in your wallet?
I'm so old.
I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 explosive hot dog carts.
Ritualistic blood magic.
Laser shooting chesty statues.
Don't watch movies unless we tell you to. Welcome to Movies with My Best Friend Phil, a movie podcast that rocks. I'm your host, Phil Kessel, joined as always by two of just my favorite human beings in the whole world. Best friends, more like brothers, really. Brothers in, well, not arms, because I don't think any of us can fight. So maybe brothers in hands.
Yeah.
No, that sounds weird.
Brothers in hands.
But that you're hearing is I don't know why I have to do this.
Why?
I can't believe you're making me do this.
Uh-huh.
That is Will Gay Old Time Chotis.
Heyo. That's me.
That's you. And we are also joined, as always, by Craig Baby Puss Norlin. And now that's recorded and on the internet.
Yep.
Awesome. Let it be known that I was forced to do that.
Yeah.
Not by like actual force. They just said, hey, it would be funny if you did that. And I said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much enough to force me to do anything.
Not to get too in the weeds of how the sausage was made, but I came up with it and I sent you a text and here we are. Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to get me to do something if I think it's going to be funny. I have that like that kid energy sometimes, like that class clown energy of like, oh, I would do that if it would, like, if somebody might laugh at me.
Yeah.
But I also am very lazy, so it's like a weird mix sometimes. I'll do the thing, but only if it's easy enough. Like saying Baby Puss Norlin. And now I've said it twice. Guys, somebody stop me. Somebody stop me.
That's the wrong movie.
No,
Yes,
that's the wrong
that's the
movie.
wrong one.
Dang it. How do we get to that movie?
Yeah, we could do that movie.
We could
Wait,
do that movie.
do we have a nickname for Phil?
God damn it.
Phil Dictabird Kessel? I don't know. I can't think of anything.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. Because the dick part, dick.
Yeah.
That's all I could. That's
Phil Bam Bam Kessel.
or
Heck yeah.
Phil.
Rock Hard Castle.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
why are we doing good ones for him? We need an equal Baby Puss one.
What if it was like, okay, hear me out. There's in the movie, because it's in the Stone Age. So like that, there's like, we're there.
You don't have anything, do you?
No, it's like, no,
How about
they're in the Stone Age. So it'd be like,
Phil straight to the moon, Kessel.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right?
I think that's what
Yes.
that's. Yeah. That's 100% from this movie.
All right. It's a little bit of a deep cut. I thought it was,
Yeah.
you know.
This movie is the only bit of this IP, and they say that in this movie like every other scene.
It's true. They do. The B-52s wrote a song about it. Straight to the moon.
Yes. Boy, the B-52s, man. That's a band.
Was it the Rock 52s in this one?
Or I think it was like the BC.
Oh, BC 52s. Yeah,
maybe?
that's better.
Something like that.
Why would they call it BC?
Because they're the
Before
B-52s.
Christ.
Right, but
so now that's
but
BC.
they're living in the before time. They wouldn't know about the after time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Shut
but the
up,
whole
that's
thing was
why,
puns.
Phil.
We're not calling right now before Double
Do
Christ.
you remember what the very first line of the movie is?
No.
It's a stewardess saying like, and if you look to your left, you'll see the Grand Canyon 52 million years. So I think that's the level of, that's the standard.
I was kind of going into this with like realism in mind, and so I was
that would have been
thoroughly
a mistake.
disappointed.
Oh, well. Well, before we get to the movie, oftentimes we start off with a different sort of segment, right?
Yeah, well,
If
because
we wanna
before you
keep
get to the
things-
movie, you have to you can't. There's no such thing as a free movie.
Yeah, right.
So you have to pay for the movie
because you wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't download Friend Flintstone's wife.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Well, no, maybe not.
No, we wouldn't.
No, photographs.
Would we?
What?
Huh? So you gotta pay for it. You can't pirate this movie.
Right, yeah.
You gotta pay for it. And when you go to pay for something, you go up to the counter, you look the guy dead in the eye, and you say, I'm not paying for this. And they say, yeah, you are. And you say, oh, okay, let me grab my
stone
credit card. And then you bring just a big stone and drop it on the counter. And they say, that's not enough. This is 2 stone. And you say, it's 28 pounds? That's too expensive.
All right, that's
wallet.
fine. Okay, wallet.
That's right. It's time for the segment where we reach deep into our best friend's pants and whip out some recommendations. It's What's in Your Wallet? Phil's talked a lot. Craig.
Yeah, Craig. We're singling you out. What's in your wallet?
Yeah. So I have started a trial of Apple TV Plus, and I haven't had it for a couple years since Ted Lasso ended, because that's really the only thing I watched on Apple TV.
A couple of years ago, that was like the only thing on Apple TV.
I know, right? I remember that Shrinking had just started, and I heard good things, and I'm like, all right, well, anyway, canceled. But the other thing I had watched, I take that back, was Severance. And so I came back to watch Severance Season 2. Highly recommend that. If you're into
TV.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. TV. If you like TV, watch this TV.
Adam Scott not being funny, being mostly confused and depressed and terrified.
I like that.
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of a little bit of Lost in there, a little bit of the video game Control. And yeah, it's very good. And then I also am almost all the way through. They haven't released all the episodes yet, but The Studio, and that's Seth Rogen's show where he's a TV exec.
And it's the Muppets.
God, I wish.
That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty good. And it's just a satire of what it takes to make movies these days. And so they tackle AI and they tackle a oneer and having to give somebody one of the director's notes, and it is such a funny show. Like, I can't recommend this enough. I already told Will about it, and he will most likely ignore me, but that's all right.
Not ignore.
There's just too much.
No, I'll put it away in my back pocket and leave it there forever.
Yep.
Yeah. Severance is on my list of things I should watch, but I'll probably never get to, because that list is infinitely growing.
Mm-hmm.
And it stresses me out.
Yeah. And then the last one, it had only 2 seasons, so I can actually finish it. But my sister, Anne, past guest on the podcast.
She passed gas on the podcast?
That's what I heard too.
I didn't know about that. We explicitly told her not to do that.
I assume it happened. So sorry, Anne, if you're listening to this, but yeah.
None of the 3 of us ever do that.
Future gas passer. The show is called The After Party.
And
that's Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson, yeah.
Yep. And a bunch of other people. And this is a murder mystery. It happens after a high school reunion.
Old whodunit.
Yes. Tiffany Haddish. And very good so far. I'm almost done with season 1. Very entertaining. Very much a oh God, I want to say Yojimbo, but it's not Yojimbo. God, Rashomon. Where you're getting the shut up.
It's very Yojimbo.
It's very Yojimbo.
Sam Richardson just keeps taking out a sword and just stabbing people.
I wish, actually. Yeah, very much like you're getting everyone's individual stories, and they're all slightly different, if not completely different, depending on who's telling it. So it's just funny to see the actors play it. Just very funny in some of these renditions. So some of it, like there's animated episodes, just so they can do it a little bit different. So yeah, it's good.
Cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, what you got in that?
I need to pause for a second. Are you holding a poop?
I'm holding a pine cone that I just found on the table.
You
over
could
here?
call it the poop of a tree.
The poop of a tree.
Yeah.
You would be wrong to call it that,
yeah.
but you could call it that.
You could.
That is woefully incorrect.
Yeah.
It's not how tree anatomy works at all.
It's really more like the ball of the tree.
No, I have little kids, so I often find bits of nature inside, and I just reached over and picked up this pine cone, and that was sitting on the
So we're
table.
just seeing trees mature in front of us. Their balls are dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Well, they're more. Never mind. I don't want to.
Sprim.
Yeah, Phil, what's in your
Train to Busan? I finally watched it. It has been on my list for
good.
a while.
Nice.
I mean, we have been wondering when you were gonna get to Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Well,
Craig,
we're
you
really glad to hear you
this,
finally
right?
got
Yeah,
it.
I saw it pretty recently.
Yeah, okay. So I just watched it this past week. So good.
Yeah.
His like Americanized stage name is Don Lee. Ma Song Duk, I think is his name, his Korean name.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few movies. He was in the what's the Marvel one that was bad? But early bad.
Oh.
With the not the Incredibles, not the
Eternals.
Eternals. I was close. I had some of the letters. He was in the Eternals, and I was like,
oh,
well, this movie exists, and I'm watching it. But I watched him in Badlands Hunter, and I think I recommended this on the podcast, and I was like, this guy's just great. He's like,
isn't it just called Badlands?
Maybe.
Because I remember I thought he was in that. Yeah, he was in Badlands.
Maybe.
Yes, this is great. I'm glad this is
I thought
happening.
it was Badlands. Anyways, he's in a movie that the title is something Badlands or Badlands something or just Badlands.
This is the show I'm talking about.
You're talking
sorry.
Into the Badlands.
Yeah,
Into the Badlands, yeah.
is a 1973 crime noir starring Martin Sheen.
It's neither of these two things.
Neither of those two
This
things.
is Badlands Hunter. It is not a like well-known movie.
Okay.
It is like a Netflix original that I don't think did super well, and it wasn't like amazing. I just really liked him in it. He was very cool. He is like, I think he's a former boxer or a current boxer, but he looks like a, I don't mean this to be mean. He looks like a former boxer. Like, he doesn't look like he'd step into the ring and be like absolutely shredded, but he does look like he'd destroy you.
Yeah.
So he, like, him as an action star is very cool because he's not like a Chris Hemsworth where it's just like, I've dehydrated myself to look as shredded as possible. He just looks kind of like a regular guy. Kind of. He's very like wide shouldered because I think he was a boxer.
Yeah.
But like, he just kind of looks like a regular human. And so in this movie, it's a zombie movie, Train to Busan. And the conceit is that you are watching the train that is eventually going to Busan, as Korea is engulfed in like zombie chaos. And then one guy gets on the train that is a zombie. And obviously that's not spoilers. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's how these movies work. But this was such a cool zombie flick. I feel like it
surprisingly keeps the momentum going.
It does. It really did keep. Because I feel like a lot of times you get to like a plateau and you're like, okay, they've been running from zombies. How could this get any?
Yeah.
Or
like the train stops.
Yeah.
And there's like a half an hour left of the movie, and you're like, okay, all momentum has completely ended.
Yeah.
I got nothing left.
And there is a part in the movie where like they get somewhere in the train and they're like, okay, we're done. And you look and there's like half hour, 45 minutes left in the movie. You're like, I'm sorry, what?
What?
This is the train to Busan. They're not in Busan. But it's a very cool zombie movie. It's very good. It's got like It's funny. If I were to pick a Korean film, a Korean action film involving a train with political commentary and social commentary, I would have
over Snowpiercer?
I would have two choices.
Yes.
And that might be surprising to someone that I'd have two choices. Do I think Snowpiercer's the better movie? Probably, but I just saw Train to Busan, so I recency bias. I've seen Snowpiercer a couple of times. I really liked that movie, and no shade to that movie whatsoever. I just saw Train to Busan though, so I'm like fully in the recency bias. I love that movie. It was so cool, and I love that guy, and I want to watch all of his other movies because he's just cool as hell.
Train to Busan's also great if you want to see a rich asshole get his comeuppance.
Oh my gosh.
Because he ruins everything.
He is the absolute worst through and through, and I love it. I love how much South Korea hates rich people.
Yeah.
I love it.
They write catchy songs about it.
Yeah, they really, really hate rich people. Like corporate rich people. They do not like them, and they are really, 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 really open about it.
Yeah.
Because this guy is like one of the most useless, worst, shittiest characters.
Yeah. He's just like walking on people just to save himself.
Unbelievable. And people are going along with what he's saying because he's rich and important, and it like causes so many deaths. And then if you're spoiler alert, he gets his comeuppance, and it is it's satisfying.
Yes.
It's a great film. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10.
100 out of 10.
I would watch it again right now, and I just watched it 2 days ago. So that's from me to you.
Phil.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we talk about a joint venture that we had together?
Yeah.
I forced Phil to go. You don't have to talk at the same time.
Oh, I thought we were doing a joint venture.
Yeah.
No, I think you should. I think that's how we should do the rest of this.
Go see.
Yes, and Craig.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
We were trying to do every other, but I didn't tell you that part.
Me that. Okay. So Will smartly or dumbly, we don't know, decided to bow out of me forcing him into seeing this movie.
Will and I both have historically had the opinion of not being into this movie.
Yeah. This was one of those movies. This was one of those movies, much like for me, Napoleon Dynamite, that was ruined because everybody else loved it so very much. And I heard so many of the quotes that by the time I finally got around to seeing it, there was no way it could ever live up to the hype. And all I heard was the annoying people being, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so my very
exactly the same
edgelord opinion is that I don't care for, I probably would have liked it had I gone because it's been so long since That's time.
Exactly what happened to me. It had been long enough, and I watched it again. I was like, oh, this is pleasant and funny, and I enjoy this.
Yeah.
I don't like, it is, we were talking about it afterwards. It is bit after bit after bit.
I mean, it is
unending bits thrown at you.
Yeah, it is just.
And they are not all good. They're not all bangers. No. But there are some that are so stupidly funny that it makes up for all the bad ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you just wait for the one that's right. I think I watched it differently this time. It was like, you don't have to like, they're almost vignettes in the same cinematic universe, and you don't have to like them all. I was watching it, I was like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's almost an anthology series. And I love anthology series because you don't have to like all of them.
Yeah, that's a style of movie. I don't think that they don't make them anymore like that.
No.
They don't make them like they used to. I'm Will Childress. I have a boiler in my house and a horse and buggy. They don't make horses like they used to.
They don't. They really don't make them like they used to. They used to make them brown.
Now all the horses is gay. That's Will.
That sounds exactly like me. Just so the listener knows, that's not me talking just a second ago.
That was somebody doing an imitation of Will, and something that Will totally would say.
I would totally say that. No, I think the reason why that you don't see movies like that, that's like a never-ending skit, is because like that's just sort of what TikTok and Instagram are now. Well, and like people just the more I think about it, the more I feel like sort of ripped off by this idea that like. It used to be like you made a funny thing and that you could fly on that funny thing for a long time. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And now it's like you make one reel and that's the funny thing and it gets picked up and people like it, but you get nothing out of it. You know what I mean? You have to make 30,000 funny things and slowly build up. Anyways, and so like,
Can I have a hot take that's probably going to get me canceled?
Sure.
We do sometimes still have movies like that are never-ending skits, but it's like the vampires suck and like Scary Movie and movie 43, they're just bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, but all of those are from at least 10 years ago.
That's true.
That's what I mean. That's
true. Time keeps on slipping.
Yeah. Oh, they're coming out with a new Scary Movie.
Oh, are they?
With the Wayans brothers.
That to me feels like them just being nostalgic.
I think so.
I mean, because it's not like them going like, oh, people will go see the new Scary Movie. But if somebody was like, hey, I'm making a completely goofy gag-filled movie, you know.
They're also making a new Final Destination, which I keep trying to get Jack, and this is the same as Scooby-Doo. I think I actually only mentioned this once, but I would like to watch through all of them because I've never watched through all of them. And my brain, even not having watched all of them, my brain views the world like a Final Destination film. Like I see all of the accidents that could happen. I think that's actually just called anxiety. It is. But
that
I see them all. Oh no, I already thought about that. I'm already right there.
Okay, first off, the ceiling fan would just hurt if it fell.
Well, not if it fell.
Not in Final Destination.
And the wire slipped out of it, and I made contact with both and was electrocuted and died.
Yeah, but wouldn't the wire snap before it got far enough to you to have any electricity? You think that there's 5 feet of slack to the wire?
No, it'd come down and it would break through the joists.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying this is logical. It's Final Destination logic. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being terrified of those movies. This was one of those movies.
I still don't like driving behind a logging truck.
Oh, well, that's a legit fear.
Normal.
And that was like living in the UP. There were logging trucks all over the place on 28. And that has a 25-mile stretch of no passing lane, or like 2 passing lanes, I think. One on like either end of it. And you get stuck behind logging trucks all the time.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
No, that was just one of those movies that I think was just constantly on the television at Brad Barr's house.
Oh yeah.
That feels right.
So I just like go over to his house and I just like see somebody be decapitated in the living room and I just be like, hey, can we like go in the basement for a little while?
Can we go anywhere else?
Anywhere else? I don't want to watch this at all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Phil, come over to my house and watch all of them with me.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm into that. I'll do that right now.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
What have you been enjoying lately?
Nothing new.
Okay.
Will, God damn it.
I just don't go out. Like, I am the king of replaying games and sitting in a little pocket of nostalgia and getting nice and warm and hiding there forever.
It's currently Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
It is.
At least last time I saw you, you were playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
Not again.
So my son the other day was like, you know what I want to do? And I said, what? And he was like, I want to play Kingdom Hearts. And I was like,
this is my life.
This is it.
So I quickly got to the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 because it's not fun to play. Well, it's fun to play, but it's not nearly as fun to play as Kingdom Hearts 2. And
okay, hold on.
Okay.
Pump the brakes.
We'll pump the brakes.
Pump.
Certain levels are fun to play. Other ones are like torture, like Tarzan and Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
The early levels oh my God.
I just mean that the gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 1 is fun.
Yes.
But doesn't hold a candle
to Kingdom Hearts 2.
The gameplay and mechanics in 2.
The fighting in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is like the game, is so much more fun.
But they got rid of the dodge roll.
It's true. They did do that.
True, but you can get a little like scoot thing that you can do. It's not a dodge roll, but it's a dodge move that you can do.
A boot scoot.
Yeah, but it's just unlocked within wisdom form. Which, did you ever level up?
I was Valor all the way. I was Valor all the way, baby.
Right. Okay, but it's just they got rid of it, but if you like played past the first couple places, you didn't know.
You could fly in the second one.
You can fly in the first one.
You can fly differently.
You can really fly in the second one.
Really fly in the second one.
The second one, the gameplay is just. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that they took dodge roll away from you, but I do have to say, you get so many other crazy bonkers fun moves that like you don't even need it because you're just kicking so much butt. Anyways, I hadn't played it in a while. Anyway, so I have been playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 with Jack, and I've been showing him the game.
Awesome.
And I had to play a bunch of levels. I had to play both Timeless River and the Pirates of the Caribbean level without him because he did not get Timeless River at all.
Fair.
Like, because he was just like, why is it black and white? Like, but why? But like,
Father,
why?
I am not culturally connected to this.
And I was like, see, that's Pete there, and he's like, okay, and I'm like, and then that's also Pete, and he's like, but they're both Pete. I'm like, yes, but they're in the past right now. And it's like, who? Well, then where's Donald and Goofy? Oh, wait. Well, that's a good point. I don't know where Donald and Goofy are. And so it was like, and he's like, well, why did Donald and Goofy look old timey, but the Pete from the future doesn't look old timey? I don't know, Jack. I don't know. Never mind. I'll beat this without you.
Yeah.
And then we went to Pirates of the Caribbean world. And Sean was also in the room, not paying as much attention, but when that showed up, he was just like, oh, bad guys. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just wait until you get to Tron.
Yeah. So
they're both like a wild twist.
Yeah.
At that, like, the game goes into Disney worlds. Yeah, so you're like expecting it, but then still Timeless River, you're like, fucking what?
That to me was one of the coolest moves that they did was Timeless River was just like, you go to Disney, like, because in the first Kingdom Hearts, you can see Disney Castle, but you can't go to it.
Yeah.
Which was always like, I want to go to all the worlds. And so when you got to go there in Kingdom Hearts 2, I was like, this is the coolest. And then it's like, you're going to go back in time. And we're going to do rubber hose, old school Disney stuff. I was like, this is really cool too.
That's the problem with 3. They didn't have anything like that.
No. 3 on a story level is absolutely a disappointment. Yeah. I would encourage anyone who is disappointed by Kingdom Hearts 3 to pick up the DLC. It's always on sale. Replay it, forget the story, and just focus on flying around as Sora and playing, and like leveling up and just like exploring the worlds. And it still is a blast from that perspective. From the story perspective, Dream Drop Distance ruined it all. They introduced time travel in a weird way, and they also introduced the fact that never mind.
Again, time travel is the last thing.
The only
that Kingdom
thing
Hearts needed.
I know, and the only time like I've ever seen late stage, like late in the end in a IP introducing time travel and it actually working is
Back to the Future.
Well, no, is Endgame. Endgame when the way they did time travel in that was like. Where they're like, no, you don't change the future. There's no changing future. You just create a different timeline. You know what I mean? Like that sort of, and then also it was a fun, because it was also like sort of like a fun, like they sort of did a clip show without actually doing a clip show in a way that I, as a huge fan, enjoyed quite a bit. Anyways, but yeah, so I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hell yeah.
And some of the other Kingdom Hearts just because it's what I've gotten into recently, while Caitlin sits on the couch next to me with the iPad watching old episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we are literally like trying and pretending that we are both 18 years old in my basement again.
So you're having a happy marriage is what I'm...
Yeah, for the most part.
Sounds pretty great. Jack's been rewatching Grey's Anatomy, which is why I texted you guys the other day about... That's my theory.
I couldn't talk to Veronica about it yet, so that's why I didn't respond. Sorry.
Okay.
What was your theory?
The hospital is like a circle of hell.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone, except for like 3 characters, everyone on that show, they are some of the worst human beings I've ever seen put to television.
Or cursed.
Or they're cursed.
Yeah. It's like
to be around these horrible, horrible people where these supernaturally insane things
happen.
Keep happening.
I saw a clip. So I remember when Grey's Anatomy first came out, I think I watched the first season or so because I was like, oh, everyone's talking about it. And I was like, oh, this is just, and I was like, Scrubs is better. And so, and House, and also House, I think came out at the same time too. I was like, House and Scrubs are better. I don't need another doctor show in my life. And then the other day I saw a clip on TikTok of like late stage Grey's Anatomy. And I was like, what? And I just like, and then the next like half hour of my life was just me on the Grey's Anatomy Wikipedia page.
Oh, no.
Just like reading what happened to all the characters. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God.
You got to see how many of them died.
All
of them see how many of them got like.
They all sleep together. They all die. Half of them have kids with the others. And it's just like, and like the trope, instead of like having characters leave and be like, hey, I'm just like moving on in my life, or like I got a new job somewhere else. Shonda Rhimes is like, nope, they're dead. They are dead. We're going to kill them. We're going to kill the character. So you have no hope of ever returning.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool.
Yeah. It is a buck wild show. It is. So what keeps happening is I will watch a few episodes with Jack in a row, like in the evenings. And then she will have it playing while she's working or while she's waiting for me to get home or like while she's doing something else. Like right now, we're recording this. She was watching Grey's when I left. So like I will watch a couple episodes, then I'll get a break of like 5 or 6 or 7 episodes. And then I'm jumping back in and I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what happened? Wait, where's this guy? Oh, he's dead? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the second time we've done this. And I still am like constantly asking her questions like, wait, what happens to this guy? It's great. What a wild show.
Watch The Pit. Just watch The Pit, people.
Yeah, watch the Pit. I mean, definitely.
Speaking of pits, as in gravel
pits, tar pits.
Tar pits. We watched a movie.
Peach pits.
We watched The Flintstones. Which is a 1994 American family comedy film directed by Brian Levant and written by Tom S. Parker, Jim Genuine, and Steve E. D'Souza. It's based on the animated television show by Hanna-Barbera.
What's the name of the animated television show?
I believe that's called the Flagstones.
The Flagstones.
Yeah, okay.
Flagstones. Yeah.
Wait, so, did you make that up on the spot, or did you know that that's what it was supposed to be called?
I knew.
Okay,
yeah, and that's why I missed. Yeah. Anyways, the Flintstones was originally titled the Flagstones.
That's stupid.
Sure is. That's why they changed it.
Yeah, that's a really dumb first suggestion.
Yeah.
All right, so it's starring John Goodman, Rick Moranis, Elizabeth Perkins, Rosie O'Donnell, Kyle MacLachlan, Halle Berry, and Elizabeth Taylor. It is 91 minutes long. It had a $46 million budget, and it made $341 million.
Yep.
So
it's a good chunk of change.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of change. How do you think this movie is currently sitting on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's got to be like
36,
28%.
Craig has it 23.
Ooh, nice.
25 audience
too
score.
Much credit.
So I
am actually surprised at that audience score. To
25?
be honest, yeah. I guess I would have thought it'd be higher than.
I don't think people are as nostalgic for this movie as you think they are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
This isn't Hook.
Fair.
So I picked this movie. I picked this movie because I thought it would be funny to watch it after Scooby-Doo. Because I believe his name is William Hanna. and is a executive producer on this and Scooby-Doo.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Cool connection, huh?
Great. Yeah.
So I picked it because I thought it was be funny. This I realized was like one of the rotating VHSs in my house for whatever reason. I think we must have like gone and seen it in the theaters, and my dad was like, "This is acceptably okay, adequate movie," and so he bought it for us, and so like you only have so many VHSs in the house. Eventually, you're gonna watch the Flintstones again. Yep. Because you're tired of watching
the Kangaroo Fighter guys.
Oh, I never had that on VHS.
Oh. That was just me.
Oh, that was just Craig.
It was the Warriors of Virtue was the name of that movie.
I knew it was a something of something.
Yeah. I have all those toys in the basement somewhere. Anyways, God. So I am one of those people was nostalgic for this movie, not in like any way other than like, I remember this movie, like all of what was happening is like weirdly imprinted on my brain, and like watching it again, I was like, I feel like I know exactly what everyone is going to say next. You know what I mean?
I felt exactly the opposite. I didn't remember a goddamn thing from this movie.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't remember any of the plot. Like I remember moments, and so like as things were happening, I was like, oh yeah. It's like when somebody tells you like, I don't know, like what you said or something, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that I said it, but now that you say that, it's unlocked the memory, That was the whole time for this movie. But Craig, how did you feel about watching the Flintstones movie?
I mean, it was definitely in the rotation when I was a kid. We definitely went and saw it. I was telling you guys when we were watching that huge, and I think McDonald's was McDonald's in this movie?
Yeah.
Rockdonald's?
Or a parody of it.
A parody of it.
Yeah, because it said like over 12 dozen sold.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So McDonald's went all in on the Flintstones.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And so they had these glass, like clear glasses that you could get, and in the shape of, I don't know,
different characters.
Rock.
We have those. The Burger King had those for the Lord of the Rings, and we have a couple of those floating around somewhere.
And so I remember that, and then we had a random CD from Hollywood Video that had one of the Flintstone songs on it, among other hits from the 1994.
What?
I know, right? And so
awesome.
That's what I remember most. But we watched it enough, and it's just, I have some nostalgia for it. It's not a good movie. Like, it's not even close to Scooby-Doo for me.
I don't know about that.
Which is crazy to say.
Okay.
That's buck wild to hear.
Okay, shut up. Let me get a point out. All right. So, this is a kid's movie. Shut up.
Okay, yeah.
This is a kid's movie.
It's a family movie.
It's a family movie that deals with like corporate espionage or whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's what makes it a family movie. You know what I mean? Like,
no, what makes this a family
espionage.
movie is the fact that Halle Berry is being cartoonishly like
overly sexual.
Overly sexual. This movie is meant to get dads in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, you would find your dad watching this by himself and just like rewinding that part, which is coming on to Fred, and then your mom's like, what the hell's going on here? You're like, oh, the kids were just in here. What the hell?
Okay, so we're learning something about Craig's childhood.
Yeah. No, this is less sexy than Scooby-Doo. Even the character Scooby-Doo.
Well, sure.
Well, okay. Whoa. So I was almost with you.
Yeah, I know.
That was too far.
That's too far.
Okay, Phil, I'd like to hear. I'll counter that in a second. But Phil, how did you feel watching this movie?
I feel like nothing.
Oh, that is the correct response.
I feel nothing about this. It was weird.
It sort of like happened in front of us, and then it was done.
Yeah,
and now we have to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But what I will say that I loved about it is the set. design. Like,
that's
super fun.
So I disagree with your, like, the Scooby-Doo movie feels weird to me because there's nothing outside of the four main characters that actually feels like a Scooby-Doo movie at all. You know, like five main characters. You know, because like the setting is like during the day half the time. Yeah. There's no old man. There is kind of an old man Jenkins, but it's not like they're not like investigating it's spring break themed. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like this movie feels like the Flintstones is like, it's set in bedrock. It's got all the bedrock characters.
This is undeniably
a Flintstones film. And
yeah, that's the thing is I know these things, and it is a movie that is just like, hey, remember that part when Fred used to use his twinkle toes to go bowling?
Hey,
that's all this is.
Hey, you remember when Fred was a rocks guy? He like rocks.
He like them rocks.
He like a rocks.
Sure. Like. No, it's not trying to do anything other than be exactly the Flintstones.
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo movie is trying to do something new with Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
So
it's the safe versus it's the safe what am I trying to say? It's the well executed, not as big of a jump, or the bigger jump, not as well executed.
Yes. And I think that's why the Scooby-Doo movie for me doesn't work, is because when I watch it, all I'm thinking is like, no one should ever see this. This just needs to disappear. This is a relic of the 2000s, and it should just go away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and for the most part, it has. But like the Flintstones movie, it's like if somebody was like, "I'm a big fan of the Flintstones," just came up to me one day and was like, "Do you have a movie recommendation?" I'd be like, "Have you seen the John Goodman Flintstones movie?"
I'm sorry, that's not what you'd say. You'd say, "I'm sorry, who the hell are you?" No. Why is it the first thing you're saying to me?
Well, you know, we'll see if it ever happens. But I mean, do you know what I mean? Like this movie, I feel like kind of.
Hi, what'd you say your name was? Will? I really like the Flintstones. Could you give me a movie recommendation? You think I haven't seen the Flintstones? There's two live action movies.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. You're right. This has value to someone who likes the Flintstones, and the Scooby-Doo movie does not really have value to anyone.
Yeah, I
you hurt me deeply.
That being said, like I actually do think like they do tell a good story. It has a moral to it. It has like, you know what I mean? Like it. So for the uninitiated, the story is Fred, unbeknownst to Fred and Barney are best friends working at this the quarry, which is what the show is as well. Barney's trying to adopt a kid. Fred lends him a bunch of money to adopt Bam Bam. They adopt Bam Bam, and Barney, wanting to pay Fred back, when they take an aptitude test at work, he switches his test scores with Fred's because Fred's are abysmal. And so Fred then gets this big promotion.
His scores, you could say, were rock bottom.
You could.
I mean, you could say that, but you wouldn't because that's a rock pun.
So, sorry, Craig. We should have paused for the laughter. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, and so then Fred gets this big job and basically thinks he's like kind of like starts living the high life as this rich person, and he just gets in a fight and it leads to a lot of conflict and blah 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 blah. I won't ruin a movie you don't care about, but I feel like it tells a story. It's about friendship. It's about like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like it's a good story. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, this is Shakespearean. I'm just saying like this whole movie is competent.
This is wild to sit through.
Because
I had to sit through the movie, and then now I have to sit through Will.
You guys are defending
it against no one.
I'm not defending it.
You are defending it only because we just watched Scooby-Doo, and now you're like, I have to.
It feels like you're defending it against no one.
Yeah,
and that's just how I talk. I'm just saying like I was surprised more or less. Like the one thing I would say that this movie is competent.
Yeah, it's a competent, safe,
film. Like, it's well acted. All the characters look like how they're supposed to. They all act how they're supposed to. It's full of the Flintstones charm or whatever the
none of the animal appliances say it's a living.
That's
biggest
true.
Mark down.
That's true. This movie fails.
One of them says, "My life sucks" or something. I'm like, don't have the 90s-ify it. Just say the line.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Those animals loved those jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, everyone else seemed to be pretty okay with their jobs. But
yeah,
I just think it's funny that, like, I feel like now I have to defend the Flintstones movies because I feel like you're saying that because this thing didn't happen, it's not that good. And then you're also saying that like, I just want to go back to the Scooby-Doo movie now and be like, nobody acted. Oh, forget it.
See?
This is a dumb conversation.
So, live action adaptations of things
are stupid, and
often
I hate them.
Are quite bad.
Yes. They're also
these are not really exceptions to that.
It's also
this is fine, and this is about as good as it can get.
So there is something that I dislike about live action adaptations, even of like live.
So you really like cartoon boop?
What?
No,
it's because it's sort of saying in a weird way, it's like, oh, now we're finally making this a movie. We're like finally making it like animation is like when Disney does it with their animated films. It's like, we're now finally making it live action. And now it is officially a movie. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like
discounts animation.
It discounts animation, and it also discounts the art of television, as if like
that's fair.
Television isn't a worthy enough, even with comic books, even with video games. What?
I was laughing at the joke I didn't make earlier.
Oh
God.
Sorry.
Okay. But I just mean so live action.
God, Phil.
Guys, I'm in a mood.
Well, I just like they are currently making a live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon that hasn't come out yet. And everything that they're showing is like, look, we're doing exactly the animated movie. And I'm just like, then why are you doing it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you, if you're just making it shot for shot, why just watch the old
baby.
Yeah, right. It's like, just watch the old movie. Don't make this, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it didn't need a live action remake. Make a live action thing in that universe.
Sure.
Awesome. Great. We didn't need a live, but that's,
obviously it's a money thing, but it's just,
here's the thing. It keeps working though.
Yeah.
Because
people
went to see this. People went to see The Lion King.
$340 million or whatever.
I think it's slowing down on the working though, because
it stopped working.
Yeah, it stopped working.
Yeah, but
this worked.
Yeah, this one worked because it was in the 90s when like they realized they could do things like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
the people who would have been watching
Flintstones
as kids now had movie money to go see a movie and buy merch and buy
or bring
toys,
their kids to be
kids
and
try and indoctrinate them into liking the thing they liked when they were kids.
Hey, you know the vitamins and the cereal? Well, now we got the movie.
Yeah.
Like the 90s were
I was
insane.
about to ask you what cereal you're talking about. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Continue. I'm tired.
One of the best cereals.
I'm in a vibe.
The 90s were
Captain
lousy with boomer revitalization.
Yeah.
Because it was not even, you had Little Rascals and which is a bit older, but you know what I mean? But Flintstones, you had a bunch of live action stuff that was being made. You had even cartoons being repackaged.
The Great Panda Adventure.
Stop. You had Flintstone Kids, a pup named Scooby-Doo,
Operation
Yogi,
Jumbo Jet,
Tom and Jerry Kids. It's just regurgitation of stuff. I am going to kill both of you because I'm making a good point and you guys can't take it.
No, but you are. I think nostalgia has always sold though. I think that's the one thing. It's like, it's hard to, because I think they're doing it like now. Like they just came out with the Minecraft movie, and that's for a bunch of Gen Z people who like played the game, And they redid Jumanji not too long ago. You know, they were hoping to get some millennials in the door. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
I will say those movies were actually pretty fun.
They were actually pretty good.
I liked Jumanji. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that like they're still doing it and they have been doing it. Like I don't know what our show is set in the 2000s just yet, but like, you know, you can do that 70s show, Freaks and Geeks. You know, you keep going back and like even Happy Days. I remember when I realized for the first time Happy Days wasn't shot in the 50s.
In the 50s, yeah.
And I was just like, wait, what? And I like totally did. Or even that Grease. You know, Grease was
you know what they do a lot
whenever.
Right now for like our nostalgia shows is they make legacy sequels because there's Girl Meets World for Boy Meets World. There's that 90s show. So like
Fuller House.
They've done that for a bunch.
They're doing a Malcolm in the Middle one soon, which I might actually watch that one.
Yeah.
Because that show is pretty great.
Yeah, it's B. Krantz.
Yeah.
But when people are saying Hollywood doesn't have any ideas.
Roseanne, they read it. Anyways.
They keep regurgitating the same ideas over and over again. I feel like it's been worse in the past. Everyone always says that the time we're living in for cinema is the worst.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No.
I think that what commercially sells is going to be, for the most part, the same kind of slop that we've been getting for years now.
It's almost a numbers game, though, at that point, where like there's literally just more people. So the lowest common denominator is going to be worse.
And I feel like we still have like sort of movies that show up and sort of change the game, like how they like, and then everyone tries to redo
again, like the Great Panda Adventure.
Well, I just feel like yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, here's something else to talk about though: is the death of family movies.
Yeah, they
don't exist anymore.
and the never birth of all ages animation. Because that is here, but not. It's not as prevalent as it is in like Japan.
Oh yeah,
where there's a ton of all ages animation.
Well, that's the thing.
Which goes back to what you were saying, where like
animation is for kids. It's kiddie. It's children. It's not a legit art.
Which Pixar got as close as they could for American audiences. Yeah. But I think in Japan,
I think millennials are changing that too. Like
that's true. Yeah. But European countries, a lot of their animation is known to be not just for kids. It's very mature. Subject matter.
Tons of millennials were scarred because their parents rented Watership Down. I thought it was a kids movie.
But yeah, it's just hard to see because I can't I have a lot less options to show my kids non-animated movies that are like I've showed them Jumanji,
sure,
and I've showed them Wizard of Oz. There's a lot of family movies from the past, but Sonic is about the only thing that is hybrid live action that's actually worth watching.
Yeah.
Like this is good for adults too.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going through a major, like we're going to be talking about this for years, but the internet and streaming and the total monopoly of our economy has ruined everything, and movies are included. Now we're going to be seeing like AI movies coming out. It's like Hallmark will be making an AI movie once a day, and all of these things, and you'll go and they won't be in the movie theaters. Movie theaters are going to cost $20 to go, and they're going to be organic movies or something like that, where you go see actual actors and things. But then you're going to turn on the television, and you're going to have a whole generation of kids who like maybe not our kids, Craig and I's. Our kids that we share are going to be this one, but maybe the next generation is going to have like AI characters that are their nostalgia. So then when they get older, they're going to be showing their kids their AI. It's going to be, who knows what it's going to be. Like,
it's funny. It's super funny because you're insinuating that we're going to make it there.
That's
See, so like the world's going to make it there. No,
see, that's the thing, Phil. That's what truly sucks.
Is that
we will. It won't end.
Damn.
We're not going. We keep we have been talking about the world as if history ended in the 90s, and we literally we're just. I just feel like we've been sliding sliding along, just going like, when's the next like thing that changes everything going to happen? And it's not happening, and it's because we've been slow. It doesn't matter. Everything's been.
We watched the Flintstones.
We watched the Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yabba Dabba Doo. And Your Friend Too. Is that the next part? Is that anything? Is that something?
I don't know if Yabba Dabba Doo makes it into the song. Is it? I think he just yells it.
Yeah, I just made it up. Just came out of my head.
Okay, so let me talk about the movie.
Okay.
Actual movie. Here are some positives. You've already talked about the set.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The
set. That was like a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah.
Of the budget was just making this set because.
And I think it looks good. It looks like the cartoon.
Yeah. It looks cartoonish in the way that it should look.
Yes.
But it doesn't. Like they didn't. I like it. They didn't try and make everything like.
To me, it feels very much like a part of Universal Studios or something. Like you would walk into this is the Flintstones section. You get to look at all the fake.
You can
it
tell
feels like
it's
play, like sets for a play.
Yeah.
Where it's like it is. One of you said something when we were watching. Like everything is too big.
Yeah.
Like objects are bigger than they should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like, oh, that screams like I made this prop.
Yeah.
And I had to make it this big because otherwise it didn't read as this prop.
Yeah.
So like it's bigger. So I loved that. Anyways, Craig, you had more positives. Let's say some positives. Let's be positive.
I was a little bit playing devil's advocate with the negative stuff, so I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just thinking of you differently now.
Yeah, I know. So you can definitely tell it's a Steven Spielberg production.
Yes.
Just because of the level of craft that goes into it.
Yeah.
Jim Henson Productions did a lot of the animals.
Jimmy H.
A lot of the animatronics and stuff, and those are all great, even with the shorter time frame that they had to make them. Baby Puss, your favorite character.
Your favorite character? I didn't even know that was its name until you told me that.
Their saber-toothed tiger, which they do the gag twice from the movie to the show.
If you didn't know and got this far in the episode, I do have to apologize for the opening. That's not just me being gross. That's the name of the saber-toothed tiger, according to Craig. Yes. I never confirmed this on the internet, though.
Yeah, no. And I forget what the green kangaroo is, like Romper or something like that.
Gazoo.
No.
Everything green is Gazoo.
Everything green is Gazoo. Yeah, Baby Puss and Dino. Everyone knows Dino.
Stop saying it.
It made Phil so uncomfortable, so I had to keep saying it.
You made me say it so many times now.
So Baby Puss was the first like CG character that's like hairy. So a lot of people like talked about like Sully in Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
How it took a really long time to make him to animate. And but this is like the first one where they had to get it. Each fiber is reacting to the program, basically. So
wait a minute. The first CGI furry character was Baby Puss.
Yes.
That's
part of history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do the CG characters like Dino and Baby Puss look pretty janky?
Yeah.
Yes, but
Baby Puss looks really janky.
Yeah,
Dino looks okay.
Dino looked okay.
Yeah, he looks fine. He doesn't look nearly
he's a combo of animatronic.
Yeah,
depending on the shot. So I think that helps him.
Yes, it absolutely. But when he's running around like when he's on top of Fred, like licking him, it's clearly CGI, and it's.
But for being 94, better than Scooby-Doo.
Way better than Scooby-Doo.
Way better.
I mean, Scooby looked fine, but those like weird rabbit monsters looked awful. Just awful.
I gotta say, the PlayStation thing was so spot on funny. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, so for the listener, when we picked out a picture, I put a PlayStation logo on the side as if it was a PlayStation video game because it looked like, you know, because like I remember the covers to PlayStation games were like just them showing off their CG renders, which means they look terrible now.
Yeah.
Other positives, everyone's casted perfectly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they basically said they wouldn't have done it if John Goodman hadn't agreed to it.
Who could have done it?
Yeah, he is
him.
Like John Goodman is not somebody who ever like disappears into a character. He's always John Goodman.
Just himself, yeah.
But like him being himself is just him being Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
So it
works.
It was work. Yeah.
The other choice was John Candy before he passed away, because he passed away in '94. So I think he was sort of like he could have been it if
I don't think John Candy has the voice for it. I think that would have been the problem. Is like
that's the thing is they had people. They're like, well, they could be in a comedy role, but they weren't big enough.
Yeah, because John Goodman is a big guy, not only because he's, at the time, like, a bit overweight, but he's just like got huge shoulders and he's got that big voice. Wow, that was terrible, John Goodman.
Yeah.
I mean, it was better than I could do, probably.
But yeah.
Barney, there's someone at the door.
Oh, Ray Romano. Get out of my house.
Wait, I'm married to Wilma.
No, get out of here, Ray. You're not. You're married to what's her
Deborah.
name? Oh, Deborah, of course. All right, go back.
How could you forget my wife's name?
Go back in your
She's
hole,
your godmother.
Ray. I think you're confusing me with somebody else.
There are, I mean, if in terms of references to the original that aren't overt, I mean, you have the voice actor of Wilma is in it.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who she plays, but it's just a bit part.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Never would have guessed.
I had to.
William Hanna was in it, and like,
yeah,
they're in this
hamming it up.
There's this boardroom meeting, and suddenly this old man just goes like, "I don't think we can do it," and I was like, "That's either William Hanna or Joseph Barbera," and then I looked it up, and it was William Hanna.
Yeah. The one I liked a lot was the voice actor for the Great Gazoo from the original series voiced the Dictabird.
Yeah. And they used all of Dino's like or whatever sounds he makes was all Mel Blanc, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they just lifted it
after he's been dead for 5 years.
Yeah. So they just lifted it from the cartoon. So Dino, of course, sounded correct or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they don't. The biggest sin they could have committed is they didn't change the characterizations of any of the characters too much. I mean, they're all believable.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest change is the Slate Company, where they added the Kyle MacLachlan character, who I thought at first was just completely replacing Mr. Slate, and I was like, I guess he's just not in this, but Mr. Slate shows up later. So that whole like subplot, or like what becomes kind of the main plot, Kyle MacLachlan's character is like scheming to set up Fred Flintstone as a patsy so that he and Halle Berry can escape to the Poconos. I don't remember where they were going.
Yeah.
It's honestly, if you think about the Flintstones, which is a ripoff of the Honeymooners, it's not.
Oh, that's why you made that joke earlier.
Yeah.
Bill, stop it.
I'm just playing dumb.
It's a weird thing because you're making basically a live action version of the Honeymooners.
Right, yeah.
But then how do you make it interesting? So I think they did a good job of you're staying true to the characters. Fred is in over his head.
But in like a very mundane sort of way. Yeah. It's not like he has to save the world or something.
Yeah, that's very...
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a version of this movie where they have to stop a comet from hitting the planet. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think, Rick Moranis might be the best part of the movie.
No, I mean, he's the best part of any movie he's
in. But
except for Spaceballs, because that movie's terrible.
Hell yeah.
Shut up. But just the whole part where he's the ice cream man and it's playing the Jetsons jingle, and then they're about to get lynched, and the people just keep asking him for ice cream.
Yes, that's
there are some good bits of this movie.
It's the whole movie is incredibly. It's just groan after groan. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, because it is just a bunch of just puns.
Well, that's what the original show was. People were like, oh, I love the show, and you go back and you watch it, you're like, oh,
it's just
this
puns.
is just
Oh, it turns out I just liked the colors on the screen.
Yeah.
It turns out I didn't have a lot of taste when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I had a thought on how we rate this one.
Okay.
Instead of out of 5, can we if Yabba Dabba Doo is 5? Yabba Dabba Doo. Oh my god, it is. Give me how many syllables.
Okay.
Out of 5 for this.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, but out of 5.
Okay.
I can't do it. I tried to do it. What was that? Just wait. I can do
it. I'm on pins.
Flintstone!
Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, you have to like destroy your throat.
Movie? What the hell are you guys doing?
When his old garbage disposal sees him.
That's the part I always remembered as a kid. Is just remember doing the pig.
Yeah, and he runs by Squealer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I do remember that now.
Also,
I think I kind of halfway checked out at the end of this movie. So,
did you check out the part where a man gets entombed in cement, and then people are just like, "Whatever, congratulations, friend, you created concrete," and they're like, "Ah, yeah, there was a dead guy there."
I mean, he was, it's early mafia.
Yeah,
he's sleeping with the birds. I'm gonna give this a Yabba. Dinosaurs.
What?
I didn't have a thing, so I said dinosaurs.
Well, I think what he meant to say was baby pusses.
So you gave this a Yabba out of a Yabba Dabba Doo?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this. Hold on. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna give it. This syllable thing is throwing me off. Yabba da. Quick, Bon, what's my name? Fred Flintstone. Don't toy with me, Bon. Out of Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yeah.
I liked that part. Anyways.
So we're all kind of.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I think
middling.
I honestly, like, I feel like I need to applaud competency. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
I feel like sometimes it's like, yeah, you don't need to take big swings. Just make a movie, Just like, it's fine if it's just fine, I
just wanted you to hear, I wanted to hear you defend the Flintstones.
I don't
heartily.
I mean, it looks like the Flintstones. Do you know what I mean? There's no I don't feel like if you were a fan, like, you know how fandoms tend to like be the worst about the adaptations of their things.
They actually sometimes seem to be the least fan
of their thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like the critiques, the subreddit for the Flintstones was silent the day this came out, if it had existed in 1994, which it did not. You know what I mean? So like, and I think that there's sure, that's not always my favorite choice to do it that way.
But it is a choice, and they did fine.
If you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
They did fine.
Yeah,
they did just fine, aggressively fine.
But it's no Great Panda Adventure.
It's no Great Panda Adventure. Am I correct in remembering that there is a boobs in that?
I don't know if I don't remember anything other than the poster.
Okay, I feel like I remember seeing something in that movie and going, "Well, now what is this?" It was early enough in my life where I was like, interesting. Maybe there wasn't a boobs. Maybe it was like she's in the water.
You sure it's not like Fly Away Home? Because that one always weirded me out.
I also saw that one a lot.
Because of the shower scene.
Movie.
Yeah, there's a shower scene in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one a ton too as a kid.
Yep.
But Great Panda Adventure.
I remember her flying with the geese. And her being in the shower.
In the shower. That's what we all remember. I'm glad I am not the only one.
Yeah, and then she showed up as, it was Anna Paquin, right?
Yeah.
And she showed up as Rogue, and I was like, I really like Rogue. Why do I really like Rogue?
Why do I like Rogue?
Why do I really, really like this version of Rogue?
I really like this Rogue. Oh, right. Anywho,
so that was the Flintstones.
Yeah, we're picking.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
What is next, Craig Gold?
My connecting tissue for this one is John Goodman, and I could go with like a million movies because
a lot of great ones,
so many.
Yeah.
But again, I'm picking ones that I've never seen before, and I'm going to pick Speed Racer.
And weirdly, you wanted to figure out how to get there anyways.
Yes.
And not that you also wanted to yes and the idea of all of us picking old adaptations of cartoon movies.
Yeah, live action.
Or cartoon.
Live action adaptations of old cartoons.
Yeah. And this is one of those that it came out and it was just like a wet fart.
Yeah.
I remember people were really down on it. This was the follow-up for the Matrix movies.
Yeah, this
for
is the Wachowski siblings.
And
I told Jack that this was your choice, and she was like, really? And I was like, it's supposed to be good. She's like, no, I know. I really liked it when it came out.
Really?
And I was like, oh, okay. You're the only person who liked it at the time, and then now everyone loves it. But she was just like, really? You're picking that one? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, but everyone's supposed to like it.
This was one of those movies, like there was a time in like the 2000s after, like, I want to say it was probably after like the Star Wars prequels had finished.
Yep.
And like Zack Snyder's got a ton of acclaim for 300 that like people were like, do we need sets at all? You know, and they're like, let's just make the room entirely blue and just make a movie this way. So you had like Sky Captain, The World of Tomorrow, like Sin City, which was one of the ones to do it well. And then I think like this movie was like at the tail end of all of those like completely CGI'd, really awful looking movies that like did it that way, right? Because like every single scene is like completely CGI'd, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Just about. Like I saw a couple clips from it and I was like, oh wow, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I've also heard people talking about like, oh, it's people were turned off by it because of how it looked. But it's actually like good for some reason or another.
Yeah, so we'll decide because none of us have seen this movie.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel like we rarely have a
all going in blind movie.
Yeah, weird.
Oh yeah. There was the Flintstones and then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking and subscribing to the podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you want to tell us who you think what Ninja Turtles the Flintstones are.
Fred is Raphael. We know this.
Who does machines?
Barney.
Barney does machines. Yeah, definitely.
Wilma is Leonardo.
That's right.
And then Betty has to be Michelangelo,
because that's the only one left.
Yeah,
it's the only one left.
Oh man, this episode is brought to you by Veronica Norland. Who is that?
Who is it?
If you want to hear your name shouted out and help support us, become a patron at patreon.com/mumble and shrug. Every once in a while, I just completely forget it.
Become a Patreon.
Become it.
Become a website. It's 2025.
I mean, aren't we all going to be websites?
If you like what you heard, consider leaving a review on any of those platforms or chisel it into a rock and leave it on Will's doorstep.
Do it.
That's all for this episode. I'm Phil Kessel.
I'm Will Gay Old Time Chodas.
And I'm Craig Baby Puss Norland.
What was I, Phil Rock Hard Kessel? I can't remember what we ended on.
Phil Straight to the Moon Kessel. Okay.
Phil Straight to the Moon Kessel. Do watch this?
Yeah, this one's fine.
Yeah. You know what? You're allowed. You know what? You're allowed to watch this.
It is totally fine to watch it while you're waiting for your dentist appointment. You can just keep it.
That feels right.
You know, or you're at TBS. And not TBS.
You're at the television station TBS.
It's on TBS, but you're at Red Robin or whatever, and it's up there. Yeah, you can watch it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a good place for it.
We'll allow that.
Yeah, that's all right. Yabba dabba doo.
Yabba dabba doo.
brought to you by Mumble and Shrug Productions.